the next 3CX webinar in our series of long-running webinars. Today we'll be focusing on 3CX latest release of version 12 software. Just before we get started, I'd like to just go through some housekeeping rules. During the presentation, all attendees will be muted. Now, you can ask chat-based questions throughout the presentation, and they will be answered as quickly as possible. At the end of the webinar, we will have a Q&A session, an audio-based Q&A session, where you can actually raise your hand using the dashboard that you have there, and we'll get through each one of your questions and answer them to the best of our abilities. All right, moving forward. Today, the main presentation will be run through by Matt Guttilla. He's the account manager and also a 3CX certified engineer at Alloy Computer Products. Okay, today's webinar will consist of running through the latest features released on the version 12 phone system from 3CX. We'll also look at the new version of the 3CX phone for Windows. And we'll also have a hands-on look at version 12. Matt will run through some of the latest features of version 12 running on a live system. Okay, without further ado, we'll introduce Matt and he can get started on the formal presentation. Thanks, Matt.
Well, good afternoon, good morning to some of you people out there, and thank you, Scott. Okay, 3CX have basically rebuilt this thing from ground up. So the new features are very, very rich, and what it includes is things like complete redesign of user groups and rights, ability to add users to multiple groups, added rights per extension, which makes it much easier for the user to see the rights assigned to each extension. Bargin now incorporates listen and whisper as well. All 3CX-based applications are now accessible by using a new password that can be configured for each extension. Okay, and we'll get into this a little bit more when I show you the 3CX console. All new extensions are placed within the default group. If we can flick onto the next slide, please, Scott. Okay. They've also included a new 3CX HTTP API, and it's basically for the PIN for variable now refers to the extension's SIP password and not the PIN, making it more secure. All right. It's added administrator rights to call reporter access, allowing the user to configure reports and delete call records. Added CRM and Outlook integration. All right. The call contact via 3CX is working in make a call on the CDI mode. Okay, that CDI mode basically will allow you to call straight through your phone on your desk, so a hard phone. All right. Ring groups information is now displayed on incoming calls. And note, users updating via the service pack need to go in each group and press apply to save the new group changes. Okay, if we can flick onto the next slide, please, Scott. Okay. The presence information screen can now be maximized, giving you a great scope on the presence of your colleagues, okay? The active call selection is docketable, and the presence information screen can be customized to suit users' needs. Okay? The ability to control such as transfer, drop, divert, listen, whisper, and barge in. Listen, whisper, and barge, all included in the 3CX phone system in the Pro Edition. Okay, iField's help links added to 3CX phone for Windows, ability to make calls using CTI when 3CX phone for Windows is in out-of-office mode. Okay, this is pretty much a lot of the stuff, and you can see some of the presents here, some of the screenshots. We'll take it one little step further from now, and I'll start sharing my screen. Okay. Let me know when you guys can start seeing my screen.
Yeah, good to go, Matt.
Good to go. Great. Okay. So this is how the new portal looks like, guys. I'm going to pull up my little 3CX soft phone. Okay, and you can see on this machine, which is running Windows 8, I'm using extension 104. This basically is showing the alloy ring group. I can also show you queue calls of some of the queues that I've set up. For instance, you can see the alloy queue, and you can also see the priority queue. Everything's live presence. And these are other different ring or call groups that I've created, which is your alloy ring group, admin, your support, okay, and remote presence. This is yet to be released, okay. This is why you see a blank page. Remember, this is only candidate release 1. And on this tab, you can see all the active calls. So if I made an active call, I'll just dial one of my extensions. So I know 102 is online. So you can see the active call. And hang up. Some of the great things you can do with this as well. If I say go to an alloy ring group, I know that 102 is alive and I can see it here. You can just right hand click and you go to chat. Opens up a new window. I'm just typing in hello world. That's basically been sent directly back to my iPad, and then the iPad can reply immediately. And you'll hear the sound come through. Now you can do with this multiple, so you can have multiple screens, and each caller will come up on a new screen. So you can minimize those, bring them up at will. Here we go, there's another call coming through. Now what I'll do as well now is I'll take you into the presence of the 3CX console. This is pretty easy, straightforward. The beauty about this is it's all, you can have it floating, docketable. I like using a tab document, so I know where everything is. Just with a click of a mouse, I can do all this stuff. Now when you have an active call coming through as well, depending on the privileges that you have that have been basically dedicated to your extension via the management console, you can do things while a call's coming in, things like listening, barge, whisper, all kinds of crazy things, transfer calls, anything you like. Just getting back into the 3CX console itself, we'll go into that. I guess the things that look totally different on the new added features, we'll go for instance to extension 104. Okay, your forwarding rules are pretty much the same as they used to be on version 11. The phone provisioning is still the same. This is where it changes a little bit. Things like for the 3CX phone. Now this is for any Android device, 3CX soft phone.
Hey Matt, just quickly interrupt
iOS.
there. Just quickly interrupt. Your screen hasn't actually updated. We're still looking at the presence.
Oh, thanks, Karl. Just let me know when the screen updates, please.
Yep, good to go.
Great. Okay. Okay. Like I said, some of the major features that have changed on version 12 is things like the 3CX phone. Now this is applied to a 3CX Android or iPhone or Windows phone. Make sure that if you're using it via the 3CX tunnel that you have this checkbox checked down the bottom here, okay? And this is most important. If you are using via a CTI connection, which means you might have another desk phone with exactly the same extension number on your desk, you would use a CTI if you'd like to use that feature, so it dials out from your desk phone rather than your inbuilt soft phone. If we go under other, this has made it quite easy in comparison to all the other options that you had previously. This is basically to make your current status available if you're logged in or logged out of queues. And the new feature as well that works quite well with 3CX now is the D&D, the Do Not Disturb. Now, under options, you can go via each extension, right, and basically allow them to see things that you want them to see and do. For instance, this extension, we can record all calls, we can call on screening, we can send notification on missed calls via email, all right, and we can also not show this extension on the phone book as well if we wanted to.
Sorry, Matt, just need to interrupt for a second.
Yep.
The screen refresh rate seems to be really slow for some reason. If we can just slow down a little bit and wait for the screen to update. It is updating, it just seems to be lagged for some reason.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Just let me know if you can see the screen under options.
Yeah, we can.
Great, okay. So under options, very similar to version 11, and this is just added well, commands and rules that you can do, whether you want them to record all calls, call on screening, send email notification on missed calls. Okay, then you also have restrictions. You can, if you've got a rogue employee, you can disable his extension immediately. You can also disable external calls. If you're in a environment where you need a PIN protect, so only people that know that PIN number of that phone can make a call out by just dialing 777 the IVR. That will interrogate them for their PIN number. Using the correct PIN number will allow them to make a call out. Now you can also disallow the extension outside the LAN. That's pretty standard. And you can also block remote tunnel connections. So if someone's been abusing the system and they've got a tunnel connection already on their Android device or Windows device or iOS, you can block that extension. Now access, this is who you're going to allow to let people to allow the 3CX management console, okay, and access control. It will also generate a unique password. Okay, make sure that's always strong. One of the other really good things that they've made in the security sense is also under the phone provisioning tab. Now for me to show you this properly, I will just wait a little bit. I've got a T28P phone, and I'll show you what it's actually done to the web GUI interface in case you're trying to launch to it. I was caught out and I thought, why can't I log into the web portal? This is why. Just let me know when you can see the phone provisioning tab page.
Yeah, I can see it now. We're just waiting for the next screen to load.
Okay. We're doing this live, guys, so thank you for your patience. Okay, I think we're good to go. Okay, phone provisioning is pretty straightforward. The major added feature on this is the phone web page password. Okay, what 3CX will do, it will generate a new password for that particular extension's GUI interface. So if you want to use the standard default password, you need to change it here. Okay, as you can see, I was blown away by this, and I knew that the T28s were admin by default, so I just added that in. But by default, it will basically put in there a pretty long safe password, more so for security reasons, so no one can tamper with your phone. Now, I'm going to move to the next screen. This is an extra feature that just give me a message back when you can see that, Adam, please. I'll hear the ring on my chat phone. Thanks, mate. Okay. In this role, you can determine where this extension, to which extension group this particular user belongs to. You can also assign the rights of what this particular user can do. You can also change the user to manager, okay, or just standard user. And also to which extension group it belongs to. I'm just going to basically change to another screen, which is quite important. This is what you can actually do from the extensions themselves. If you can give me a quick thank you. Okay, so we can see the admin group, we can see who's involved, we can see the group name. Okay, from here you will see 3 tabs on the top. You'll see default group rights and members rights. You can assign all the rights and permissions directly from this tab. You can also delete the groups. You can also add new groups. Just change screens to members rights. Hopefully you can see that. Great. So you can see the members' rights on each group, what they're allowed to do and what they can't do. For this instance, I pretty much allowed everyone to do everything, so I can see what's going on the other side and try to barge in and listen or whisper, can intercom, call parking, allow internal voice recording control, and enable display view filtering as well. As you can see, they've major developments on the system. Another really important inclusion that 3CX have actually put into the system, which go under settings, is 3CX Phone. Adam, if you can give me that sound again when you can see the screen. Fantastic. Okay. Now, it will work on push notifications. This is a really cool feature, especially for iOS devices and also Android devices. What it does is, as soon as you've got the 3CX Phone, your that particular device won't drop out if you have enabled push notifications. The server will keep on pushing messages out to make sure that that phone is registered. If you don't have this on, then anytime you want to use the 3CX soft phone on a remote device, you will have to basically re-register. I've tested this, and especially with my iPad and iPhone, and yes, it does work. I mean, there's more information on here on how to do it on an Android device. All you need to do is click that link where you see developerandroid.com, Google QCM/QS.html, and it will take you directly to that site and show you exactly how to configure it. I guess in a nutshell, I mean, that's been the most, some of the great developments that 3CX has also done. Some of the exclusions now are presence, pardon me, over a bridge only works on a Pro edition, which is 16 simultaneous core or above, but the bridge still works from a small business upwards. I guess in a nutshell, that's pretty much where 3CX have taken the development to, and that's just a brief overview. We can get into this on a one-on-one at a later stage, and some of the more key features, especially deploying Active Directory, which has been made a lot easier as well. So thank you for listening to me, and I'm happy to take on any questions that you want to ask. Feel free. Thanks, Scott.
Matt, before you go, quickly, before when the screen was lagging, one of the guys wanted to see what was under the, I think it was under the extension settings.
Yep.
Under the other tab.
Okay. Yep. Well, the other tab really hasn't changed much at all from what it used to be. It doesn't have as many commands. I'll just take you to that screen. Okay. Just let me know when you can see the other.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Under the other rule, previously you had things like a lot of rights and a lot of the options were included on this. Under other, what they, I thought 3CX might rename it and should have, just should have said availability or in or out. Basically what it does is it gives you the current status if the phone's available, the queue status if you're logged in or logged out, do not disturb, and this is also where you put your outbound caller ID or SIP ID field, which has made it quite simple. Everything else is basically under option and rights of the extensions of extended rights and procedures.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Matt.
You're welcome.
Just change the screen back. Okay, guys. Now, most of these screens we've actually seen on the live system, so I'll quickly skip through some of these. Okay, guys, what's the end of the formal presentation? I'd like to just remind all you guys about the ongoing 3CX training that is being run by Alloy. We have upcoming training sessions in Sydney on Monday the 19th and 20th of August. Now, there's only a couple of spaces left for those training sessions, so if you do want to attend, please go online and register as soon as you can. Now, the Melbourne dates on the 22nd and 23rd of August are already full. Okay, now in terms of our next 3CX webinar, we don't actually have a webinar planned at this stage, but we will be putting one up on our website in the near future. Now, at the end of the presentation, there will be a questionnaire. Now, if any of you guys have any topics that you think should be covered, that you think that you want Alloy to base a webinar on, please feel free to put through your inputs into the questionnaire. Now, one thing that we have been thinking about is 3CX's new mobile device management software that they have, the MDM software. Now, this isn't related directly to IPPBXs, but it is a new software release that 3CX have recently launched. The software is for managing and controlling mobile and tablet devices. Now, if you do want to see a webinar based on that, please feel free to put that down on the questionnaire after the webinar. Okay, guys, Q&A time. If any of you guys have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand and we'll get to them. All right, we'll start at the top. There's a few questions that need to be answered. Okay, so we'll go to Mark first. Mark, please fire away. Well, Mark seems to have some audio issues, actually. I can't seem to...
Muted.
Shoot. Okay, we'll move down to Merjam. Merjam, please fire away.
Yeah, thanks, Karl. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Good, Miriam. How are you?
Good. I have a couple of questions. When you were in the management interface and you showed us where the user's rights are set to access the management interface, you said that there are different passwords available, right?
Correct.
Is that also related to different rights, so that one user would only have access, for example, to users and extensions and not to VoIP providers and PSTN gateways?
Correct.
Can you show that again, where you set it?
Sure.
To limit the access rights of a particular user?
Yep.
Okay, Matt, I'll put you back over to your screen.
Yep. Okay. Show my screen. Okay. You can do this, are you there, Miriam?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. You can do this a few ways. You can go via the extension itself in the way of rights. Okay, so if every single extension, okay, so let me go, so okay, let me bring up extensions. I'll say bring up 104, which is my extensions. Okay, just wanted to see that. You can see the screen that I'm in.
Yep.
Yes, I can, yeah.
Okay. Options. Okay. Down the bottom here. Just waiting for you to be able to see the screen.
Yeah, no, I can see that, yeah.
Yep. Access passwords for the 3CX web services. There it is here.
Yeah, all right. So and then how are the rights restricted of that particular user? If that user should only have rights to the extensions, but not in particular not VoIP providers and VoIP PSTN gateways.
Okay. Well, on this tab here, they can allow access to the management console of access, right? Allow web reports, allow administration operations, right? Even if you have a hotel module, are you going to allow them to access that portal?
Yeah, but my question is, can you limit the rights within the management console that they cannot access VoIP and PSTN gateways and VoIP providers? Now, so they have access to the management and they can change things on the extension level, such as passwords and call forwarding rules and things like this.
Okay, let's have a look at the rights.
Around with numbers and trunks and...
No, you're right there. It'd be under options, and that's it there. I mean, in that case control, if you give them rights, for instance, they can do it from, for those type of things, I wouldn't allow them to access the 3CX management console, okay? I would uncheck that. But they can actually access from their phone portal.
Operations?
Yeah, if you don't allow management console access, because management console access will basically allow you to access things like the management console, where you can make changes to your PSTN gateways and so on. Yours is a little bit more in depth. No, that hasn't happened yet. Okay.
But what is the allow admin operations? What is that exactly?
Okay. That's basically to view and change extensions around. Right. So admin operations is like barge into calls, listen and whisper.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it means.
So the answer is then no, there is only one level of management access available. Either you have or you don't. But yeah.
Correct.
That was already available with version 12.
Yeah.
Version
Correct. Yes, it was. One of the things you'll see as well on version 12 is things like updates. If you're not logged into the actual physical machine, you can't make any updates or anything like that. So the only way still to do updates within 3CX, okay, is by basically logging into the physical machine. It's basically been designed there for security reasons.
Okay, I have a second question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have still some time?
Beg your pardon?
Do we have still time for a second question?
Sure.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. So in the reports, you know how you have web report access?
Web reports. Yep.
Yeah. Is there now an option available that you can schedule reports?
Not as yet.
Okay.
Not as yet.
And then, okay, and then I have another question. When you showed before the presence information window, that black one.
Yep. I'll open that up.
Yep, please. Do I understand this correctly, that this is now the replacement of the 3CX iPhone?
Oh, hang on a sec. Yes. Yeah. Yep. That's basically my phone and your full portal in the one. Okay. So if you can see the screen here, all right, I have the 3CX soft phone up and running, and from here I've basically tabbed everything that I want to see on the top.
But the soft phone you have now in the front, no, now it's gone. But
yep, it's here.
So
I'll bring it up. Yep.
The presence information window, which we are looking at now, that is a separate tool versus the 3CX soft phone. I was under the impression that we can now utilize the replacement of the 3CX iPhone as also as a phone.
Yeah, you can. Yep. I'll show you something. Can you see the 3CX soft phone now on my screen? Okay. If you want to see presence information, if you click that button there, you can also see the presence on the actual phone itself as well. All right. So you should see all the extensions that are available.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Okay, and you should be able to see the ring groups. You should also that I've basically selected. Anything further than that, when you want to see call queues, okay, that's on a different window.
Is it the same application, Matt, or a different application?
No, it's the same application.
Okay, so that
it's all
answers your
built
question.
into one.
So Miriam, it is all built into one. It's just a different screen that you're viewing.
Yep. So for instance, I can...
So this is one window, you just have taken the different windows apart from each other, correct?
Correct, and different tabs. So for instance, if I were to close this, Miriam, all right, so I've closed that, and if I close the... Basically, see, I can expand the phone. Can you see my screen at the moment?
Yes. Well, I see the 3CX phone in the front and the management in the back.
Okay, that's basically the that's totally different. That's basically the PBX. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Great, fantastic. All right, if I click that button there, all right, it brings me back to the full presence. Okay, so the 3CX
floating window on the presence information.
Correct. All right, now you've also
this window that it's built into it, or that's just all.
Yeah, of course you can. You can get it so it's. I'll show you what the you can have it floating, docketable, all right, or tabbed document. All right, so you can hide it as well. At the moment, I just like using my phone this way.
Because you're used to it from version 11.
Correct. Correct. But yes, old habits. But what I do like about it, though, is having everything tapped on the top. It's just neater. I mean, you can have it so it's floating and throttle around the screen and be creative, but for my...
No, I don't like this. I like to have an overview. I
Yep.
prefer the view which was in the presentation, where you could see the remote groups and the sales groups and then the active calls on top.
Yep.
So if you want to do this, can you just enable that for me? So that you will go
Sure.
under view.
Okay, let me make it floating. Just for you, Miriam. All right.
Thanks.
All right, here we go. Let's make that floating. All right. Let's make this ring group floating. Okay. And it's basically designing it, you know, it's stretch and however you want to use it and basically use it. That's totally under... Yep.
And then once you have designed your presence information the way you like it for your organization, can you then export and import these settings to all the other users, or do you have to do this for every extension?
No, you have to do that for every user. Yep.
So you
have to
cannot
show them
set
how to
a
do it.
template. You can't set a template.
Not.
Okay, guys, we should move on.
Different.
We should move on now. Sorry, guys. We're starting to run over time a little bit, so we should move on with some other questions.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Miriam.
You're welcome.
All right, next up is Paul. Paul, please fire away.
You got me?
Good, Paul. How you going?
Yeah, well, Matt, how are you, mate?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. What's up?
Upgrade path from 11 to 12. Is it?
Okay.
I noticed on the trial it was an uninstall, reinstall. It's going to be the same on the final release?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Okay. What actually happens even on the beta, it's good that you brought that point up. It will go up to Service Pack 3, then you will see another Service Pack on there, and it will tell you there are no more Service Pack. Please back up the 3CX server, okay, by using the 3CX backup restore tool, okay.
Yep.
Save that, uninstall 3CX completely.
Yep.
Right. Download Canada Release 1, R1.
Yep.
Okay, and just do a restore.
Okay.
And that's
Would you suggest if I had the option to just build a new Windows server and just deliver it on that, like restore it on that, or is the uninstall good enough? Like it's not going to leave any remnants?
No, it doesn't. If you uninstall it and basically make sure you select all, okay, it does a really clean job. I did this, actually, funny you should say that, I did that on my own server here at home, and yet it worked a treat. And that was a brand new rebuild with a restore function.
Great. Okay. Fabulous. That's all I have. Thanks, guys.
Paul.
No worries. Just one other thing, Paul. If you are using a different local IP, okay, make sure that you check the advanced sections and the local and the SIP domain to match that new local IP. That's if you're changing IP address, local IP addresses on the server.
Oh, okay. Yep. No worries.
Great.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll just quickly try with Mark again. Mark, can you try talking? You know, at the moment, Mark, it's saying that you're self-muted. You haven't got it muted at all on the webinar, GoToWebinar application. Okay. Sorry, Mark, for some reason I can't seem to unmute you. Sorry about that. All right, moving down the list, we have a question from Peter. Please fire away, Peter. Okay, Peter, so you haven't got a mic. All right, let's mute Peter again. Okay, now we have another question from Sepp. Please fire away, Sepp.
Hello, how do I configure my email notifications if our system is on Office 365?
Okay. That would probably be from, all right, if you want to include Office 365. Providing that
No,
you've got...
wait a minute. Our email is on Office 365. You have to forward the email either by a relay or directly to Office 365. Have you done it before?
Well, I can basically send an email from 3CX to anywhere, providing that the credentials are correct.
Exactly. But the credentials of Office 365 are totally different to a normal Exchange system.
Yep, if it's just normal Exchange system, then basically all you do is basically put the mail server and who it's from, providing you've got the correct...
There's no mail server.
Yep.
There's no mail server. You have to do it via relay on your system, and that's hard to establish.
Okay.
I would appreciate if somebody would try to do it and come back with an answer, because I've tried.
Okay, Seth, we had a chat answer from David Hellberg. He's saying that as long as you enter the SMTP connector for Office 365, that should work okay.
Has he tried it? I tried it.
You've tried that? Okay, well, we'll need to test it and get back to you.
We need to test it. That's a good question, Seth.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I've still got a question from Mark. Mark, if you want to just ask a question via chat, I can read it out and get it answered for you if you like. Okay, so we've also got a chat question from Peter. Do queue logins still access all the queues?
Yeah. Yep, it does. So, for instance, if you can be logged in out of a queue or out of a queue. I guess what Peter was trying to say, if you're in multiple queues. But yes, you can log in and log out of different queues as well.
So you can, okay, yep. Okay, Mark's actually logging out and logging back in again to see if he can fix his audio issues. So if we can just hold on for a couple of seconds, I'll quickly just go through the chat list and see if we have any unanswered questions in here. Okay, there's no more questions at this point. Okay, another question from Paul, I think. Paul, fire away.
Yep. New Yealink phones don't seem to have templates for version 11. Is version 12 going to be releasing these faster? In particular, I'm talking about the 46s, T46s, I think they are.
Yeah, are you there, Paul?
Yep.
Currently working on it with 3CX, and that will definitely, because they're beautiful phones, the T40 range will all be inclusive. I'd probably say maybe not for the first true release, but very close to it. It more than likely prior to the full release of version 12. I've spoken to the boys back in 3CX, and they're just working on the config within them and Yealink as well.
Okay, excellent.
Okay,
thanks.
We just had an answer also from the chat. David again has also said that if you use the T3 series templates, they seem to work okay as well.
Oh, yep, no worries. Thank you for that.
No worries. All right, another question from Sep. Sep, fire away.
How about the training session in Brisbane? I'm on the Sunshine Coast.
I want to come. Sep, I want to come. I want to come to see. I want to come to Brizzy.
At this point, Sep, training is normally run only in Sydney and Melbourne. But if we do have enough attendees to run a course in Brisbane, then it will be something that we'll look at doing.
Okay.
If you want to make a note on the questionnaire at the end of the presentation, feel free, and we'll follow up. And Yeah, you can do that too if you like.
Send an email previously.
Okay.
All right, I will do that.
Yeah.
All right, now I think we've got Mark back online now. I can find him in the list. Okay, can't find him now. Oh, here we go. All right, Mark, fire away.
Sometimes the old-fashioned technology just works, doesn't it? Hi guys, I'm just starting out looking at 3CX as of version 12. So I've never seen 11. I don't have any sort of history to look back on, which sounds like it might be a good thing. I fired it up here, got it all working well, and I've tried the client application on several computers. Just so you're aware, I've been doing Zolts for many years, so I'm sort of right into the CTI side of things. I'm having problems getting the release candidate client software to run on a 64-bit Windows 8 computer. So I run it on our Windows 2012 terminal server, it's fine. On my Windows 7 32-bit machine, it's fine. But on Windows 8 64-bit, it's the only 64-bit other than the 2012 server I've got. It runs, it installs, but there's no presence. You can't really do anything with the application. It doesn't say that it's got an error, but it seems to be stuck when it starts up.
Okay.
Is this something you're aware of?
Uh-huh. Yay. Yeah, I'm glad that's the one to come up with that question. Thanks, Mark. I went through this. Every case that I've seen is a little bit different, especially on Windows 8. Okay. More than likely, it would be a firewall issue, or you have to turn off your antivirus. Okay. I've experimented through this thoroughly. I'm running a 64-bit machine. I had the same issue. I'm getting full presence. Everything works. All I have to do is basically allow the application through the antivirus and also through the firewall.
All right, I'll try the antivirus. I have disabled the firewall on the machines, so it's not the firewall.
Yep. Yeah,
all
it'd be
right,
I'd say 99.99% it would be your antivirus.
Okay, now one other question, and this is, once again, I'm coming from the viewpoint of someone who's used Mixie for years.
Yep.
One of the new Presence app looks fantastic. You know, it's really nice. But one of the things that I don't like about it is when you click the Maximize button to bring up your screen, you can lay it all out, set up your tab windows. You can then resize it and get it how you want it. But when you go back out of it and back into it, it's full screen again. Something that I would like to see. I don't know if you can feed that back as...
No, actually, I sort of, on my machine that I've tried it on, I've begged to differ on that one. It will keep the memory from your last login.
So it's keeping your maximized version of the screen how you want it, including the size of it on, like I don't want it full screen, I want it maybe half a screen wide.
Maybe a half screen you might just have to basically hit the window on the top next to your cross button.
Yeah, but then it goes back to another size. So I tried that, like you go out of it, back into it, it's full screen again, but when you take off the maximize, it's sort of like a set size, it's not how you had it last time, there's no persistence.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a look at that. I'll test that out and let you know. You should make sure you shoot me through an email, and probably the best way for me to have a look at it properly is via doing a TeamViewer session and logging in, or just a remote extension. That'll be fine.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mark, thank you for that. All right, guys, quickly just run through and see if there's any other questions. No, that seems to be about it at the moment. All right, guys, we'll finish up there. We've run over time quite significantly today, but there's been lots of questions, so that's always a good thing. All right, guys, thank you very much for attending. Now, just remember there is a quick questionnaire at the end of the webinar. If you do have any topics that you do want to see Alloy do a presentation on, please feel free to make some comments. All right, thank you very much, guys.